Sometimes you talk to your bicycle in the middle of the night. When you get back from your old house that collapses in your memory, pummeled by the years and beaks of crows. That bicycle feels the pain of the night and the pain of the corner of a small town where bread is denied to the dogs. In that town, flies feed on rain and fear of a son with icky bones. You talk to your bicycle afraid that your father will think that you have lost contact with the real world, contact with the real roads that smell of iron and fire. You talk to that bicycle afraid of your father's insults, afraid he will say, "Get a job that brings you money." You talk to that bicycle in the middle of the night, in the bed of a river that is no longer a river, mangrove, fish, and stones, that is no longer a dialogue with heaven. Sometimes your father hugs you on that path and talks to you in the midst of the music from rocks. He says to you that the cold weather has made you a better man, that you are too old to be riding your bicycle in the middle of the night. Now I'm gonna read another poem. This poem is about my dad too. Talks a little bit about my mom. When my mom is from a little town close to the city, but it's like a tropical town. So when she was a girl, she told me that she used to play with wildcats were her toys. You know, she used to play with them, and so once I remember that she said to me, "Thank you," that she used to play with these cats. Things. When the mom went to get something to eat for the cats, she went to the cave, and she went inside the cave, and she got the cats and started playing with them. But when she saw the mom coming back from getting their baby's lunch, she put the cats back and ran away. So based on that memory, I wrote this poem that is called Wildcat. And I'm going to read it first in Spanish, and then I'm going to read it in English. Gato de monte. Soy el recuerdo de ese gato del monte del que mi madre hablaba. Soy ese recuerdo que ahora regresa y no encuentra territorio en sus ojos. Sobre ese gato de monte sin territorio escribo, como polen de sangre en árboles ajenos, nacido del ruido de las cosas que pasan. Mi padre me acompañaba a todos los sitios de la noche. Era bueno mientras podía, porque las raíces de su sangre a veces lo golpearon hasta tirarlo al suelo como un gato de monte viejo. De mi madre tengo el hecho de los ríos y sus palabras. Yo entiendo que uno como gato de monte tiene que andarse solo por la tierra, con la nariz en el aire de distintos arroyos, comiendo de la carne viva del mundo, husmeando el vapor a veces de trenes cargados de insomnio. Uno tiene a veces que acercarse a las ciudades, y es en las ciudades donde uno aprende del desconsuelo. Ahí uno como gato de monte tiene que esconderse en los gestos del odio y del miedo. Mi padre me contó que su sed y hambre lo llevaron bajo puentes y horizontes de un rojo desconocido. Mi padre, que ahora camino los suelos amargos de sus muertos sin nombre. Como gato de monte, sigue persistiendo. Wildcat. Wildcat. I am the memory of the wildcat that my mother talked about. I am that memory coming back. I am that memory that finds no territory in her eyes. I write about this wildcat without territory, like the pollen of blood in faraway trees. I was born among the noise of things that pass. My father used to keep me company in the night. He was good while he could be, because his blood roots beat him up until he fell to the ground like an old wildcat. Then I have from you, Mom, the river's bed and your words. I understand that one's wildcat has to walk alone on the earth, that with its nose in different streams, eating the life flesh of the world, sniffing the steam of trains full of insomnia. One has to come close to the city, and it is in the city where we learn helplessness. As a wildcat, one must hide among the gestures of hate and fear. My father told me that his hunger and his thirst took him under bridges and hyacinths of unknown red. My father, who now walks the bitter grounds of his death without names, my father, a wild cat, still persists. Thank you. I'm going to read another poem. It's about poetry and what I think my beliefs about poetry. I'm going to, if you're okay with that, I'm going to read it first in Spanish and then in English. Razones en el invierno. Escribo para que nuestra sangre hable con el río de la calle donde nadie sabe de nadie, para que tú desde una esquina de la noche me consumas con la fuerza de un barco que se hunde. Escribo para que el aire respire aire. Escribo para que me piense el musgo del camino, para que me descifre en la pradera el ganso y el búho. Escribo cuando tengo hambre, cuando estoy por cerrar la puerta de mi alma. Escribo para que ustedes me escriban, para que me consideren uno de los suyos, de los que reúnen semillas y se abrazan con las llamas, como si nada pasara y solo yo pasara. Escribo para que mis hijos un día sepan que tengo otra voz, no la voz del que indica a qué hora apagar o encender la mirada, sino la voz que ustedes también reconocen en los almendros y en el movimiento de las nubes, voz que desde hace siglos me nace con cascabeles y plumas. Escribo para que ustedes se hallen entre mis palabras. Escribo por los que no escriben y se ríen solos, para los que aman y andan entre el polvo. Escribo entonces para nombrar las cosas que no tenemos, para inventarlas, para los que se deshacen de tristeza, para los que nos golpean y nos encierran, para los que yacen bajo las raíces de las aguas. Escribo para que juntos nos asombremos. Escribo para los que no pueden ver la luz y sostenerla en sus manos, como lo hacen nuestros hijos todas las mañanas. Escribo para que ustedes dispersen con su risa el ritmo, el canto. Reasons in the winter. I write so our blood speaks with the river that is this street. Here where no one knows about anyone, so that from one corner of the night you consume me with the force of a drowning boat. I ride so the air breathes air. I ride so the moss of the path thinks about me, so that the goose and the owl on the prayer understand me. I write when I am hungry, when I am about to close the door of my soul. I write so you write me, so that you consider me one of yours, of those who gather seeds and embraces flames, as if nothing happened and only I happen. I write so my sons one day know that I have another voice, know the voice that tells them when to turn on and off their eyes, but rather the voice that you also recognize in the almond trees and in the movement of the clouds, a voice that was born many centuries ago with rattles and feathers. I write so you can find yourselves before my words. I write for those who do not write and laugh alone, for those who love and walk among the dust. I write then to name things that we don't have, to invent them, for those who undo themselves from sorrow, for those who strike us and make us prisoners, for those below the water roots. I write so that together we are amazed. I write for those who cannot see light and hold it in their hands like our sons do every morning. I write so that with laughter you disperse the rhythm, the song. Thank you. I'm gonna read one poem about from my book. One point about my grandmother. My grandmother was midwife, the only midwife that we had in town, and she was, to me, she was an amazing person, because the only tools that she had to bring babies to the world was just like a very simple bed and a bucket of water. And I always, saw her like she had moms and new babies there. And when I grew up, and I was very curious, and I asked my grandma, "Did you ever have someone die here in your house? Because all what you got is just this bed and a bucket of water." And she said to me, "No, but." She said to me, who really helps me, and I was like, I don't know, like maybe you have some people that comes and helps you. And she truly believed in God, and she had this relationship with God that was almost like if God was like the next door neighbor. And she was always talking about God like a friend, and when she got mad too, she got mad at God. So I wrote this poem about my grandmother and the vision and the relation that she had, her thoughts about God. And so this is, the poem is called God for my grandmother. God, I would like you to enter my grandmother's jar and shake with all your force the lemon tree. But you don't grant the wishes of those who hope that one afternoon you will come through that wooden door. God, I would like you to enter my grandmother's jar and shake with all your force the lemon tree, right in front of my grandmother's eyes. I know that she will think good things Like, sometimes you exist to perform small acts. God, I would like you to see her pull your ear, God, I would like you to see her pull your ears and afterward send you to the store to buy the beer. Okay, thank you.